Hey, it's Ari. I play Imogene Harrison on Wild West RP. Imogene makes pocket watches and engraves them. Kind of like, well, that's my work right there. Not the pocket watch part, just the cow part. She engraves them for other players. So we're gonna go through how to get this effect in GIMP. This isn't really what engravings on pocket watches like super look like, especially not in the time period that she does engravings like that, but it is sufficient for RP, at least for now. I am working on maybe playing around with stuff and seeing if I can't find something that's even more satisfying than this, but we'll figure it out. Anyway, how that looks. So in GIMP I have open the source, or the reference, I guess, which will be Onyx, this lovely horse. Just crop that real fast. And then just the watch I'll be using itself. For a lot of the sources, I'll use stuff like... Here, let me open one up. You know what? I'll open up the cow. For a lot of the sources, we'll just be using, like, the black and whites. So basically, we're gonna go from, like, any reference photo. We're gonna outline to make an image like that, and then we're gonna put it on this guy, and then do the effect. So we're gonna go through that whole process in this video. Probably speed through this part, because it's just tracing. So we're gonna create a new layer. It'll be Onyx. And then, I like to bring the opacity a little down so you can kind of see like where the new line is gonna be, especially since like that's a wrong layer already, and there we go. Since this is like a black horse, if it were a lighter picture, it would be easier to trace, because like if you're tracing something in the with a light background, you can like do it pretty easy, but if it's like dark on dark, it can get lost. So bringing the opacity down can help differentiate. You can also just like lighten the layer if you wanted to by like doing one of these. There we go. But, I don't know. Meh. Anyway. While you're tracing, do keep in mind that, like, every mark you make will be, pressed inwards into the watch from the perspective, I guess. And I'm just mousing this. I don't have a tablet or anything attached to the computer anyway. We are gonna go into this hair with finer brush. We'll go a little bit into the bust. Just so, like if you were to the watch circle, you know. There we are. Not bad so far. Now we can go in and do some extra details. I made the brush size like half of what it just was. Do we like that? Actually, yeah. Make the hair edges just a little finer. Coming to a point. A lot of it's following guides, a lot of it's feeling it out. And then, you know, sometimes you have to take artistic liberties and choose what looks good instead of choose what's like actually reality. Might get an example of that here. This nose is gonna be difficult. Do I just do the whole? No. Oof. Yeah, we are gonna get an example of that here. I might just leave it the little... Hold on. We got this. What if... We're missing something. We'll figure it out. Hold on. That's not bad for the mouth. The nose. Give me a second. So this is another one I did off of a screenshot. Actually, do I still have the screenshot reference underneath it? I do. Okay. Okay. So now I'm cheating. Using the reference. So maybe... cheating. What if we did this but filled this boy in? Make sure we... okay. Yeah, sure. Doesn't look terrible anyway. Here, we'll taper this though. Nice, okay. And then, hold on, we're gonna bring... oh, it's just too dark. Alright, so it's too dark. We can't really see like the ear detail, but you could see in Jasper... hold on, I don't know why I closed it. Yep, this one. You can see in Jasper's, like, I think these ears look pretty cute and good. But you can really see... hold on. Get the candy cane out of here. The screenshot is really light, and Jasper's lighter, or at least has the contrast. So you can, like, see the, like this... of the curve of the ear here. Can't really see that on Onyx right now. Well, let me see if we can we like bring up the brightness but bring up the contrast? No, it's just oof. So there you go. Your first problem is take your fucking screenshots in the light. So we're just gonna take artistic liberty here, is what we're gonna do. Like I said before. And we're gonna Alright, we're gonna up this to 5. Not 6 like this was, but 5. Just because it's still an inside part. And we're gonna play around until we find something good. How does physics work? If the ear is in the front... Surely it's not... It would be more like a... If it's a relaxed horse, its ears would be doing kind of whatever... What would its ears be doing? Maybe listening around? Also, we can just have it be cute. Do that. And then... Son of a biscuit. There we go. Oh my lord. What if I could press a button? Sure, sure. That might be decent. Maybe the neck. Let's see what that looks like. Okay, we're back at 6. Wrong layer. We're fine. Nah. How into the... Maybe I should... For Jasper, there's like the color divide that I've done, but also... Maybe just a little more texture in Onyx's hair, I think, would be good. Sometimes less is more. Are we satisfied? Yes, actually. Okay. Now we get to the fun part. Alright, I'm gonna crop this again. Just because. You don't have to. It doesn't matter. This one's probably obvious, but do make sure that you've got the transparent background. And then we just select it all, copy the layer. And then we're going to find our watch and paste. This is actually a decent size. We're gonna have to scale it a little bit. My scale tool is automatically selected because I use it a lot, but you just click and hold, and then though you will use a lot of these, like rotate's a good one too, unified transform, I even do 3D transform sometimes if I want to get spicy. Let's see, what's one I used 3D transform for? Sunny's Watch. So this one I did a little older. So it actually doesn't do engraving how I like it. You can see it doesn't go inwards. But I did use 3D transform to get the, let me see if I can find the, no, that doesn't have the, where's the original reference for it? Because it's flat. Froge? There it is. So the original reference was like this way, right? And then just basically GIMP is magic, is what I'm saying. Or at least 3D transform is magic. But yeah, so we're gonna scale just a little bit. If you press, what is it? Is it Control? You can keep in the center. Otherwise, this is not pressing Control. It'll snap to the opposite corner of your scaling. Sometimes you can use both to like get positioned, but also you can just use the move tool. But anyway, we're gonna try to keep that in the middle since it's pretty much already where we want it. That should be good. Nope. I meant the move tool. There we go. So we're gonna just create the new layer with it. So that guy right there. Alright. And then, you know, put it where you want it. And then, so here's the thing. If you have one of these guys and you go into the it's distort and emboss hilariously. Engrave won't get the effect you want. Engrave will be like hardcore old school engraving and just give you the lines. Oh, actually, is it doing for me right now what I wanted to display? Yes, it is. Okay, so right now, I don't exactly know why GIMP does this, but you see how it's not like giving us like a three-dimensional effect. It's just kind of flat. I don't know what it is about GIMP doing that, but how to get around that, because it'll do it a lot with text too, which is like the other big thing that people want on their watches. You just colorize it. Sometimes you have to like bring it way up here. It doesn't even matter. It can be like the weirdest fucking color too. It doesn't matter right now. Well, okay. It doesn't matter right now, asterisk, because there are some things you can do to, like in emboss, to make it. We'll go over it. Anyway, right now we'll just be whatever funky color, and then we can fix it later, because then you can just colorize it again. But colorize isn't perfect, so we're gonna go through both. But anyway, first, see, you can already see the difference. Go to emboss, and then it becomes like three-dimensional. It gives you the shadow, it gives you the light, and all that stuff. So actually, first we're gonna do the light. Figuring out the light source in our original image, the pocket watch itself, it's kind of coming from like it looks like it's coming from maybe two directions even, but we're just gonna split the difference and call that like right in the middle. But then you'll notice that, so the shadow and the lighting imply that the image is, the metal is coming out. And when Imogen engraves her pocket watches, she's scratching inwards. So, also I don't know why GIMP does this, but if you bring it like above a certain level, it sort of gives you like a dipping in instead of a instead of a popping out. Sorry, I forgot that since I went backwards because usually I have the lighting sources from the top. So if I went this way, if the light source was from the top, this would be dipping in. So then, you know, if your light source is from up here, since this is shallow, you have the shadow and then this playing off. But the light source is from here, so I went backwards. That's my bad. But yeah, so like once you hit a certain spot, you see it like goes inwards instead of pops outwards, which is what, you know, imaging would be like physically doing. But basically, you're gonna this part's really like loosey-goosey, like feel it out, go with your gut sort of thing. You've got, you know, your depth and your elevation to play with. Sometimes, depending on how detailed the image is, the depth will really make it look good or bad. So watch out for that one. It seems to make pretty big leaps, like in like the first 5 maybe, and then after a certain point, like it can only be so deep. Like from like, God, where on this scale? Like maybe, there we go, like 15, 20, like all the way through up here. There's not really a difference between any of these. There is a little, but not much. But if you're, see, this is the part. Remember when I said, but I think there's ways you can make it more interesting. So like, when you look at pocket watches engraved, like, that were actually from the time, it's like, well, first of all, this is really elaborate, but like, there's a lot of different depths here going on. And I think if you play around with the, like, if it's not just black and white and it actually has like value, like different value to it, it will kind of give you like a slope instead of just like straight in. So I think that's what I want to work on, doing value with this stuff like next. But that's like a big thing in the future, but we'll see. But yeah, so that little side note. Let's just do this thing. Remember what I said about, we're gonna keep this. I'm just gonna press OK on it. And then, alright, we saved it, so we can always just reopen it to go back, but we're also going to press. Okay, so remember when I said colorizing it doesn't matter, and then it comes with an asterisk? So if we did match, it's being a butt. If we do try to like match close to the actual like pocket watch color, And then, here, hold on. Let's bring this saturation even down a little bit. The lightness can come up a little bit. If you get it close, to what you want. I don't know if we'll be able to see it terribly in this one, but sometimes when I'm having trouble, again, with like really detailed ones, doing soft light, did you see that difference already? Like, doing like soft light will change, like, how deep all of that looks. And like, so like, you could colorize we'll go back and colorize the one that's like properly saved, but like these are giving different values basically than like just the regular, is what I mean, which is like really the big difference for like this sort of stuff. Soft light really do be saving my ass though. But anyway, alright, let's just be lazy. There we go. Alright, so we're back to the OG. We have a satisfying emboss, not engrave. So we are going to go back, colorize it, make it match more of the like actual watch. So there we go. I don't know why it didn't like that. Maybe this just references the layer. But when it is the engraving, I do like to bring the saturation down a little bit. I don't know why. I think it maybe just that little bit of contrast. And then the lightness. So like in the, why did I get rid of the example again? When will I learn? You know what? I'll bring up a silver one actually, so we can see better what I mean. So, like, depending on where in this pocket watch you look, the lightness of the actual engraving, like, varies pretty wildly. So we just choose kind of like what's aesthetically appealing and easy to, like, read for your eyes. Or, well, that's what I do. So, like, even though, like, probably something like this would be realistic, like, that would be, like, actually what is left behind when you, like, would just scrape away the metal. It gets a little lost. So it's a little bit fake and a little bit real because it's art. So we're gonna make it a little darker than it probably would be in real life. Just for the visual pop. And then, yeah, as it gets darker, it could be a little less saturated. Especially since I'm actually pretty sure, like, here in the lighter, it's a little more actually silver. Whereas this has got like I think this is like the bounce lighting from wherever this was taken. coming in. And if we want to get really picky, we could always desaturate the original anyway. Might do, actually. So I'm actually maybe aiming for more of, like, maybe this area in color. Actually, what if we did just... You know what? What if we did just... We're gonna hide that puppy right now. I always forget which saturation tool it is. Alright, what if... So it's like completely desaturated. If we put that puppy... Yeah. Yep. Right, okay, so my advice, play around with it. The Miss Frizzle advice. My advice is the Miss Frizzle advice. Take chances, make mistakes, and get messy. And then export as. I like PNGs. Use PNGs. And then just the standard settings for the export. And then voila, you have a pocket watch that's engraved, ready to go. Thanks for coming to my tutorial.